Well, since it's been so hot, probably open that up all the way.
Okay.
And then also that will allow us to get rid of some of that crap in there. Yeah, the ends were just kind of piled underneath the follower board.
Okay. This isn't something you can just pick up and bang.
Right. Yeah, it's easier if it's nicely attached to the bar because you just shake it.
Yeah.
They all fall off.
You want to try?
You're doing great.
Come on, little ladies, you got to work with me here. Now, can you bump them like this just because they're so used to bumping into each other?
Yeah.
And they just kind of move with...
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's kind of annoying. Maybe I'll move.
Maybe I'll go out of the way.
Are we trying to preserve this because it's like a remnant of their old home, or just because it's like a lot of energy to make this?
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I'm just scraping it off. Edges. And it's so hot out that it's it's really
Super
malleable.
dewy.
It's not bad.
That's it.
Wow.
Puzzle piece.
Okay, do you want to try to attach some of those, the tape? So,
Beautiful. So they'll be able to repair in there, right?
Yeah.
Fix that up.
Taking that duct tape off won't be an issue later, right?
usually I would use masking tape, and it's a little bit easier for them to chew through. But once they attach it, it should be no problem taking it off.
Okay.
Something I learned very recently about duct tape. The shorter you make it, the easier it is to work with. You know, like you always want to do these
Yeah,
big
the
long strands,
line.
but then it's like it's all taping itself to each other.
It's all over your arm and
Yeah.
They only live for a few weeks, right?
A couple months, maybe a month if they're if it's in the foraging season. 3 to 4 months max if it's wintertime. Yeah, and there's all sorts of different ways that you can do this. Sometimes people will use metal, like hardware cloth, and just kind of like clamp it in. Right now they have it filled with, looks like nectar. A lot of it's empty.
Okay. So the capped ones are just, they cap it once it's full?
Right.
Okay.
Once it's full and once it's been reduced down to a low enough moisture setting. Now we're getting closer to the middle and lots of honey. This one's pretty heavy. I'm still not seeing eggs. Might very well be closer to the middle that we see eggs. I'm seeing eggs right in that hole in bottom middle. Yeah, full of eggs. So really, at this point, you know, we don't necessarily need to do a full inspection.
Sure. You see what you want to see and
yeah.
you can leave the rest alone.
You saw eggs. That's great. I might put this spacer in there just because from what I've experienced before, they'll try to attach to that brace. So I'll just give them a little bit more room.
Okay.
Is that the general point of a spacer?
Yeah. Usually a spacer is because there's a lot of honey on there, and when they start building honey, they make the comb even wider, and it could potentially impede on the other comb.
So you can really manage the way they build their hive then by using spacer.
Right. Yeah, and sometimes like maybe there might be a brood area over here, and then they start making a lot of brood over here. And if you don't want them to do that, if you want this part to be mostly honey, then you could just start taking that and putting it together and making one brood area. But yeah, so that was a fairly simple repair.
Yeah.
If it's a lot heavier, sometimes it's almost worth just kind of harvesting it because it might be mostly honey.
Sure.
Because at that point, anything you do is just gonna fall over itself or rip off.
So maybe doing it sooner rather than later was better.
Yeah.
We're like all inside now.
Yeah. You're taking a siesta or something.
It's like you guys jacked up our stuff. Gotta fix it.
We gotta make sure their furniture's all in place.